I'm Mike Fisher. This is Richie Witt. A combined, how many years covered the Dallas Cowboys?
I'm not good at math. Let's go.
I'm 32.
50-ish?
No, more. I'm 32. You're 32. That's 60.
Okay, 60-ish. I told you I wasn't good at math.
60 years, and we've pretty much seen it all,
Yeah.
including not only Jerry Jones, but even before that, the Cowboys' penchant for the glamour and the glitz and the go for it.
That goes back to Tex Schramm.
Absolutely, it does.
Knowing that the part of the Cowboys' popularity was going to be part of their success.
And then Jerry maybe takes it to another level in terms of risk taking. By the way, we are at the Star, one of the houses that Jerry built, getting ready for Cowboy practice as they get ready for Green Bay and beyond. Charles Haley was a massive risk, and they knew it when they traded for him because, Charles, don't get mad at us when we say this, there was certain baggage that he brought with him.
Certain baggage. Known baggage. Even in the, this was pre-internet even.
Right.
But Charles Haley's reputation was widespread throughout the NFL. He's a beast on the field. He's a monster in the locker room, but worth the risk.
It turned out worth the risk.
Yeah.
The 49ers obviously were tired of it.
Yeah.
And the balance of power shift when Haley left San Francisco for Dallas. In the middle of this process, current policy, when my longtime friend, when the 49ers signed Cam Norton, he said, we're doing it because we need him, and we're doing it because we want to take him away from you. Then comes another master stroke along these lines. Deion Sanders is lured to Dallas from San Francisco. Again, a lot of stuff came with him.
Oh, yeah.
But he was the best, and is the best cover cornerback in the history of football.
And he came with, and you got to remember, it was like an arms race back then between the Cowboys and the Niners. Whoever was available, there was a bidding war for him. And Jerry saw, I can get the best cornerback in the NFL, and I can also make a gigantic media splash. For him, it's a no-brainer. And again, those two worked out for him.
Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, Jerry, who on October 24th did not sound very positive about Odell Beckham Jr., and what we're reporting is that changed on the 25th because Michael Irvin changed it. Michael Irvin made that phone call, did that research, hooked people up, and away we go. Jerry, though, when he was even poo-pooing the idea of Odell, did mention, Mr. Richie, if there's a Deion. He talked pretty openly about now if there's a Deion kind of thing out there. Well, there is nothing quite close to the Deion thing out there now as Odell Beckham Jr. There's nothing more close than that.
He's Deion 2.0 on the offensive side. A lot of baggage with different teams. Off field, he's going to create some negativity, but also a lot of publicity. So right in Jerry's wheelhouse. And again, Jerry's now 80. The risk he took back when he was in 50, he's willing to take more now because, I don't have time to have a good time.
I ain't got time for a bad time. Right. Yeah. What about the injury issue? You got to get Odell. And I know the Cowboys wouldn't go this far if they didn't already have a good handle on it. He's got to come out here in the backyard and catch some balls, doesn't he?
I mean, you've seen his training videos. He looks like he's well, but this is an ACL surgery just in February. We're only in, November. I guess that is about 9 months, so we're about right. But yeah, the first and foremost, if he's going to help this team, he's got to be 100% healthy.
Okay, what about the money? Jerry didn't care two squats about the money when he did. In fact, the Deion contract was outrageous at the time.
But Jerry, as you know, Jerry kind of wears that as a badge of honor.
Yes.
That I'm willing to take the risk and I'm willing to pay more than anybody on the planet because I've got the most valuable franchise on the planet. That's kind of his calling card. He doesn't mind that.
Interestingly, his son, who also has his hand on the steering wheel, he's got a calling card.
He minds that.
No, that's not my calling card.
Right.
Jerry can win this argument.
Of course.
And if Odell Beckham Jr., because there is a path in the NFC now.
Oh, yeah.
There's a way to be the best team in the NFC for the Dallas Cowboys. And if you can become the best team in the NFC, maybe you explain to Steven, Mr. Steven, I might not be here in 2029 when you're worrying about your cap concerns. Let's win a Super Bowl and nobody will care about the cap.
I mean, Jerry there's some push and pull there, but at the end of the day, Jerry says if he's healthy, he's better than James Washington. Let's go.
Okay.
Our window's closing. It's open, but if my window, Jerry Jones' window, my window's closing. So let's do this.
Okay, and my 3 things that I always talk about when you acquire a player that you have to be concerned with, the 3 Fs: finance,
Yep.
fitness, and fit. When you say he's better than James Washington, well, how much money am I going to pay for that?
Yeah.
I need him to be some semblance of OBJ.
Yeah.
Right?
If he's, again, that's on the field here at the Star, right? You won't know that till you see it.
Right.
But fit, I mean, OBJ is a veteran player. He's been in several different systems. I don't think fit is a big deal. To me, it's fitness. If he's healthy, he's better than James Washington, and Jerry doesn't care about the financials. So if he's on their field, he's healthy, he's running routes, he's catching passes, the Cowboys are a better team. That's all Jerry cares about.
By reputation, there's an ego thing here, but he went to the Rams, and they already had Cobb.
Yep.
He is a candidate to go to Buffalo
Yep.
all year long, and they have Diggs.
Stephon Diggs, yeah.
And so if he came here, I think there's already an understanding. In fact, Micah Parsons going public now and recruiting him
Yeah.
suggests to me that not only does Jerry say yes, and not only is McCarthy saying excellent,
Yeah.
but the locker room is saying excellent too.
And CD Lamb saying okay, because he's number 1. Gallup, maybe there may be a battle when Gallup's healthy, but make no mistake about it, OBJ is and always will be the guy who catches a 7-yard slant and can't wait to run, not to celebrate with his teammates, but away from his teammates in the OBJ spotlight. That comes with him.
Yeah, you'd like that to change a little bit. The Rams will tell you
Good luck.
he was a good soldier. The Rams say he was a good soldier.
Yeah.
But how he got to be a good soldier in Los Angeles, he leveraged his way out of Cleveland.
And New York, he had problems as well.
He pouted his way out of New York by going to Cleveland.
Right.
And so, yeah, the baggage thing is a very real thing. It so happens that CeeDee Lamb, when you ask him who was your favorite player, we did this in the summer, to watch in the NFL. Who'd you grow up? Odell Beckham Jr.,
Right.
along with Devontae Adams. Those are his 2 favorite guys. So that can work, but some egos will have to be swallowed, no question about that. This is where this coaching staff, Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, and more,
Yeah.
they've done a pretty good job. They didn't have a problem with egos at quarterback.
Right.
They don't have a problem with egos at running back. So maybe the same non-issue can happen
But when
here.
you talk about fit, it's more off the field with OBJ than on the field.
Is selling T-shirts and whatnot,
Yeah.
and being on the front page of the newspaper and above the fold, as Jerry said. For anybody that even remembers what above the fold means, you have to be 80 to know what above the fold means.
Guilty.
Is it okay that that's part of why Jerry has sugar plums dancing in his head?
No, it's not okay. But if you're a Cowboys fan for the last, 30 years, that's part of it. That he will make moves and he'll make headlines on purpose just to keep the Cowboys in the spotlight, because to him, there's benefit off the field, of course, in his bank account, but also on the field. He thinks being popular makes them better. Now, you can debate that all day, but that's Jerry's DNA.
Some people would argue being popular makes him worse.
Yeah.
I would throw in, and I'm not saying this is what's going on here, but it deserves to be part of the conversation. Jerry will still tell you how close they came to drafting Johnny Manziel, and it never was close.
Right.
Because he likes the
that.
story.
Yeah.
Is there even this much of a possibility that Jerry is doing this because he likes the OBJ to Dallas story?
Yes. Don't you think?
At least this much.
I mean, I'm not saying, I think at the end of the day, he looks at him as a player. Is he making us a better player, a better chance for the Super Bowl, which we think it's wide open this year? That's number 1. But number 1A is, oh my God, all we're talking about on all our websites, on ESPN, is OBJ to Dallas ? And Jerry eats that up.
Once upon a time, the pizza commercial starring Deion Sanders, as we go full circle in this conversation with Richie Witt. Remember, do you want pepperoni or deep dish or whatever?
Right.
And his answer was both.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys sign Odell Beckham Jr., and Michael Irvin is now saying that's what's going to happen. He's getting awfully caught up in the excitement of all this,
Yeah.
but nobody may be more qualified to speak to it than Michael.
Let me interrupt you real quick. So, Colts, cluster F, hire interim, no experience coaching Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin is the Cowboys' Jeff Saturday. If it all fell apart all of a sudden, and Jerry was like, I got to have somebody, don't you think he goes to Irvin? No coaching experience, kind of a consultant, and would be a rah-rah. I mean, that's the Jeff Saturday of the Cowboys. That's far-fetched.
That's one way of looking at it. I make the joke that Jeff Saturday is the Babe Laufenberg. He's in broadcasting.
So is Irvin.
He has no. That's true.
I mean,
But Michael Irvin would walk into that locker room, and all these players would go, man, whatever you say.
That's what Irsay thinks Saturday's going to do with the Colts.
He's wrong.
I said thinks. I said thinks.
This is a sidebar issue, but
Yeah.
you've just insulted what they did. You've just insulted every assistant on that staff,
No doubt.
including people of color.
Yeah.
You've just maybe caused the 53 men in the locker room to go, why did my position coach get a shot at? Why are we getting the guy into? Who's that again?
Right.
I saw him once in a suite
Right.
here.
I see him on dusty pictures in the hallway, but now he's our coach.
Yeah, the Cowboys have had their ups and down problems, of course, over the years, like most teams have. They don't quite have that problem.
Not quite.
And maybe Odell Beckham Jr. is part of the solution. Richie Witt, you can find him at cowboyssi.com. One of the very best in the business. They call him the second best Cowboy beat writer.
60 years, I hear.
60 years. Fish at the Star. Out.